inwiefern denn künstliche Intelligenz die Rechtswelt verändert und vielleicht auch als Entscheidungshilfe dient. Denn wir wissen ja aus Beispielen der USA, dass zum Beispiel bei der Job- oder auch bei der Kreditvergabe künstliche Intelligenz schon eine ganz maßgebliche Rolle spielt. Aber wird sie auch in Zukunft vielleicht Gerichtsurteile fällen? Diese Frage stellt sich jetzt und beantwortet auch der nachfolgende Workshop, nämlich mit LexisNexis, und die darf ich jetzt auch zu mir auf die Bühne bitten.
Good afternoon. I hope you can hear me. Welcome to this session about how AI is changing the legal world. LexisNexis is a global provider of legal information and analytics. So we serve customers in about 150 countries across the world. And our business is driven by our mission, and our mission is to advance the rule of law, which means we see it as a really vital step for building peace and prosperity in society. So my name is Andreas Geyrecker. I lead the product organization here in Austria. For LexisNexis, I spent more than 20 years with LexisNexis building digital solutions, and I'm very, very happy to be joined by international experts today on stage. With me here is Karen Waldron from LexisNexis UK. She is Director Product Development.
That's right.
In London.
Yes.
Welcome and thank you for being here. And we will have somebody joining by Zoom as well. So Jordan Govender will join us via Zoom. And he is from South Africa, so he works for LexisNexis South Africa and is a business analyst there. And we also will have some video statements by Min Chen. Min Chen is based in Shanghai. She is CTO, legal platforms for Asia Pacific. So really where the most, or the majority, the most advanced AI technology is going on in LexisNexis. So why we have chosen this this topic. As you know, artificial intelligence is going to change the way we work, the way we live. It's not only a business topic, it's really a topic which will target every aspect in our daily life, from business to law, to entertainment, to education and so on. It's really across the society. And what we would like to focus here today is really to give the perspective of how AI is changing the legal world, especially, and how LexisNexis is contributing to these changes. So, as you know, the legal profession has always or has long been characterized as somehow resistant to change. So there is a long tradition in terms of how things are going on, how the work is done, how knowledge is communicated to customers, how the legal services work in general. And with the start of AI, we see that this is really, really changing now. So the question is really how this will change and how fast will this change. And we are sure that we will see a lot of changes very fast in terms of business models, how legal services are provided to the customer, but also in terms of client expectations. We will see that clients will come to us and see, okay, we need better service, we need different services. And that's what we try to answer from LexisNexis. So we are on our work daily to really build these new solutions to help the legal profession providing better services. And we really believe that artificial intelligence is the next game changer for legal services. And so I'm very happy to start into the session and explore that in more detail. So we split this workshop or this session into mainly two parts. The first part is really about implications of legal AI. So really to deep dive on some of the topics, what's going on, what impacts we see. And the second part is really about use cases, so what's going on, real world, and what solutions we see. So Karen will show us something at the end. So, and we start with the first topic, the topic of access to law and justice. And therefore, I would like to welcome Jordan Govender from South Africa.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks,
Hi,
Andreas.
hi. The stage is yours.
The stage is mine. Thank you so much, Andreas, for that welcome. So today, I want to begin by contextualizing how access to justice fits in our society and the relevance of rule of law today, as my colleague Andreas mentioned earlier. Access to justice is especially important for marginalized communities such as low-income individuals, minorities, those with disabilities, the list just goes on, who face additional barriers in accessing legal representation and navigating the legal ecosystem, which represent close to 32% of the world's population. When those groups are denied access to justice, it perpetuates systemic inequality and erodes trust in our legal system, and erodes not only trust, but the structures of our legal system. Items such as financial barriers, legal aid shortages, language and cultural barriers, backlogs in terms of case law, in terms of delays, judge delays, all of these items that erode trust within the legal system. The importance of civil and human rights and how strong democratic structures, they need to coexist within our legal framework today. And how we uphold the law through, how we uphold the rule of law through technology is we play legal tech, plays a crucial role in upholding this access to justice. It can help ensure transparency, accountability, accessibility within the judicial system of any country. There's a digital divide, the increased digitization.
We face some audio problems. I don't know, Jordan. I have some audio problems here. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't hear you, Jordan.
Sorry, we can see you, but the audio is
Technology.
broken. I don't know whether it's the Zoom connection or... Can you try it again?
No.
It's still broken, I think.
Yeah. No, they can't hear.
Can't hear him. So maybe, I don't know, maybe we come back later.
We come back later to that. Maybe
we come back later and continue with our next slide. And we want to come back a bit to Europe and have a look what's going on in Europe in terms of artificial intelligence. And I think we all agree that we need to closely manage and carefully manage artificial intelligence. And there is one important thing around artificial intelligence, and this is trust. I think on artificial intelligence, trust is a must. It's not a nice to have. I think we need artificial intelligence that we can trust. We need artificial intelligence that is good for society, we need artificial intelligence that is good for the legal profession and that is good for individuals. So there needs to be some sort of regulation. And we know that from the past. We experienced other technologies, new technologies in the past, where we have had similar situations, that there is some good and some bad in applying these technologies. And for example, think about nuclear energy. There we built regulations, there we built even international institutions to align on that. So societies operate on rules and on common agreed ways how to do things. And that's not easy sometimes in a complex world, because we do have this social, this political, economic, technological complexity. And this all manifests in a legal complexity at the end. And so we need to sit together, cross-domain, bring experts together to really put the right regulations in place. So that's what's going on in Europe right now. As you know, nearly 2 years ago, the European Commission started to build the European AI Act, and it's not finalized right now. It's still under discussion. It's still a proposal, but it's the first broad standards. It's the first broad standards in terms of regulating AI. And the basic principle behind this EU AI Act is that AI applications are judged or classified in terms of perceived risk level. So which means it starts with low risk, limited risk, up to high risk and unacceptable risks. And applications with unacceptable risks will not be possible in the European Union. So they will be banned. And high-risk applications will be not banned, but they need a very, very high standards in terms of transparency, how they operate, in terms of safety, and in terms of human oversight as well. So it's always judgment in terms of consumer rights on the one hand, on the other side, boosting the economy, foster innovation, and see what can happen. There's a lot of things going on. What we certainly be sure are that this will have an impact, a global impact. So if this comes into force in Europe, this very similar will have an impact and an influence on how companies are doing business in AI globally. And that's the perspective from continental Europe. Thank you. So next thing is really Karen. Karen will speak about the implications for knowledge workers, especially around legal.
Yes, thank you, Andreas. So, hello everyone. As Andreas said, my name is Karen Waldron. I'm the Director of Product Development for LexisNexis UK. I work out of the London office. And LexisNexis UK is just in the midst of rolling out AI-enabled new products to the legal industry in the UK. So we are right in the middle of this junction of technology and AI just at this time when AI is really taking off. And it's really important from the start, I think, to differentiate between extractive AI and generative AI. So extractive AI is using artificial intelligence, using large language models and machine learning in order to find content you already have. And we at LexisNexis have been using extractive AI in our products since 2018. We use it in our search algorithms. We use it to answer questions. If someone poses a question in a search, we use it to analyze documents and to find things that are relevant that will help a lawyer. So extractive AI has been around for a while. What really is the game changer at the minute is generative AI. That's the ChatGPT and those new kinds of systems, which have really taken off recently. And although that's really very new, it's already making a really big impression on the legal market. So very recently, LexisNexis in the United States did a large-scale survey of over 4,000 corporate counsel, lawyers, law students. And what they found was over 2/3 of the corporate council, 67%, were already expecting that their law firm would use generative AI in order to be more efficient, provide them with speedier and better advice. So that expectation is already growing, it's just in a matter of months. And so then that pressure then comes onto the firms who are really starting to look at how do they use that. And there are implications here for the lawyers, but also real implications for the knowledge workers within those firms. And these are who we are talking to right now in this rollout. So for them, there's really two big implications here. The first of which is how their roles will change themselves. They are in charge of managing the knowledge for their firm. They are in charge of making sure they have the right information and their lawyers are giving the best advice. They also have a number of tasks like really advanced searching, research queries, managing news feeds, keeping information up to date. So the way they do that will change. It's inevitable that they will use more AI to do that. So they need to get up to speed with that. But the other implication for them is the really very important role they have in that firm of deciding which tools that firm is going to use. So they normally deal with the suppliers. And so at the moment, every day there's a new AI tool that is springing up from nowhere. And so they have to be on a very steep learning curve. They need to understand, is this a trustworthy source? Is it scalable? Can this company manage my needs? Is it secure? This is one of their really, really big implications. So their work will transform, as well as the lawyers. And so they need to build their skills. They need to build their knowledge as well in order to deal with this new legal environment that we're in. But what does it mean for actually the lawyers themselves? So for the lawyers, should we do Min first and then go to Jordan, or do you want to go back to Jordan?
Sorry?
Should we go back to Jordan now or go to Min?
No, maybe later.
Okay. So for the lawyers themselves, they are facing the same questions. You know, how is their life? What are their lives going to be like? What are their jobs? How are their jobs going to change? And what are the implications for them of artificial intelligence? And for this now, we're going to hear from Min Chen, who is our global CTO. And he's been doing a lot of work on artificial intelligence for LexisNexis. Want to play the video?
Start the video, please.
Generative AI is rapidly developing technology that will fundamentally change the way legal tasks are done. Because of that, it's important that we can act nimbly and responsibly in deploying the technology that best suits our customers' needs. LexisNexis is taking a customer-first approach to developing our solutions. We're not new to AI and large language models. We have a long history of producing AI-powered solutions, and we have already launched several features powered by large language models. For example, we offer Brief Analyzer in the US market that utilize AI to instantly scan customers' brief documents, producing a dashboard report that pinpoints legal concepts, surfaces additional research recommendations, and provides suggestions for crafting stronger legal strategies. We provide a legal drafting tool called Lexis Plus Draft in the UK, which leverages AI to analyze legal documents and suggest revisions based on grammar, style, and legal language. In Asia-Pacific markets, our drafting solution, Clause Intelligence, could recommend alternative clauses tailored for multiple regions and identify missing clauses in customers' contracts. This could liberate lawyers from hours spent searching for relevant clauses without compromising quality, and mitigate the risk that drafters or reviewers may overlook common or unique clauses due to differences in writing styles. These solutions are already part of our current product offering. Now, looking ahead, what is on the horizon? Today, we're building a generative AI platform aimed at fundamentally transforming the way our customers conduct legal research and drafting. It includes 3 core features. It starts with Ask Me Anything and conversational search, which simplifies the complex and time-consuming legal research journey. With a combination of our proprietary search and large language model, search results will be summarized with most on-the-point documents, as well as a single answer with document citations. This helps lawyers complete research efficiently and effectively. Second, a custom summary of legal documents will be automatically generated to speed up and guide insightful insights. To this end, the intelligent legal drafting capabilities will be offered based on a given search result or summary, which guides customers throughout the legal drafting process, generating a first draft of a legal document and allowing users to change the language and tone from a simple prompt. It's worth noting that large language models are just one component of the technologies we deploy. We leverage large language models to gain better understanding of customers' intent and generate coherent responses. However, LexisNexis does not use large language models out of the box to directly answer prompts from customers. Instead, we integrate large language models with our content and enrichments through our proprietary search platform. This approach reduces well-known issues with large language models, such as factual errors or hallucinations, because all the results and citations come directly from LexisNexis enriched content. Additionally, we incorporate human feedback and review into both large language model fine-tuning and evaluations of our combined solutions. This always bring human in the loop approach provides oversight to guarantee that any generated content meets our high quality standards. Our commitment to data security and privacy in the legal industry spans more than 50 years. We employ over 2,000 technologists to ensure our cutting-edge technology delivers comprehensive and accurate information every time customers use it. We protect the privacy of our customers so that their proprietary search history and usage information are not revealed externally. We also protect our customers' intellectual property and our own. I would like to conclude my speech by reinforcing that we are following RELAX responsible AI principle with a focus on ethics and safety when delivering any AI-powered innovation to our customers. Thank you.
Thank you, Min. I think we go on and come back to Jordan maybe at the end, because we do a roundup session anyways. Oh, here he is.
I am here,
Jordan,
Andreas. Can you hear me perfectly?
Yeah, we can hear you now. So
perfect.
Please continue.
Apologies, everyone, and good afternoon. I didn't realize that you couldn't hear me, and I was just going on into my narrative. So here goes part 2. Today, as my colleagues mentioned earlier on, my narrative today is around the access to law and justice and the impeding factors that cascade from that. I'm going to begin by contextualizing access to justice and how it fits into our society and the relevance of rule of law today. Access to justice is especially important for marginalized communities such as low-income individuals, minorities, those with disabilities who face additional barriers in obtaining legal representation and navigating the legal system or the legal ecosystem, which represent close to 32% of the world's population. When these groups and various others are denied access to justice, it perpetuates systemic inequality and it erodes trust in our legal system. And I believe everyone seated here and throughout the world know that when trust is eroded in a legal framework or in a legal system, it poses huge risks to our democracy. I also want to deep dive and click on some other issues, such as financial barriers, the high cost of legal services and representation or legal aid shortages, language and cultural barriers, where individuals who do not speak the dominant language and belong to a minority community may face challenges in understanding the legal processes, communicating effectively with a legal representation, cultural differences and unfamiliarity with legal systems can exacerbate these barriers. Also taking into consideration geographical barriers and people living in remote and rural areas, and limited legal awareness as well as education. And a big topic is the digital divide. I know whatever I'm mentioning seems like problems, but it takes one solution to blast those issues away. It's legal tech and regulatory tech. At LexisNexis, and as my colleagues mentioned, we have a North Star, and the core of all of us throughout the world, where we want to uphold the rule of law through technology. Legal tech plays a crucial role in upholding the rule of law. It can ensure transparency, accountability, and accessibility within the judicial system across any organization. And I'll leave you with that for my part. Thank you, Andreas.
Thank you, Jordan. Thank you. So I think we come to the second part. Now we can switch back, and we really want to focus more on the use cases and on the solutions. We are a little bit in a hurry, I would say.
Yeah, that's fine.
So maybe we skip Min's second video. That's an option we do.
It was mostly in the first one anyway.
Yeah.
I
So
figured.
you go with the solutions videos anyway. So
Okay.
Karen, please.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we've heard a lot about the implications of AI. We've heard about the opportunities that it opens up, but bringing this to life then for a lawyer and for the legal industry, what are the things that actually would be different? What would they do differently, especially with generative AI? And really there is an expectation, growing expectation, that the legal industry will fundamentally change because of this. In the study that I mentioned a bit earlier, we found that awareness of generative AI even at this stage was running at upwards of 80% in the groups that we spoke to, which is much more than the general population. And already over 40% of respondents expected it to totally change the way that law works around the world. So some of the ways that they were concentrating on in this study, you can see here that the things that they thought were much more relevant to AI were things about researching matters, drafting documents. And now a lawyer can spend up to 10% of their time just trying to figure out what the recent or most relevant law is and using that to advise their clients. And they can spend upwards of 40% of time drafting legal documents. So if there was a way to do this much more efficiently, to do this with a lot of help, then that's obviously going to make lawyers more efficient. Then the question is, if a lawyer is not understanding the law to give advice, or they're not drafting a contract, what do they do? What are they for? And so really where the firms are seeing the opportunity here is to use some of that time both to upskill their less experienced and more junior members of staff. So generative AI gives you the opportunity to have that human connection. It's like having a very experienced colleague, because you can interact with them and they can give you first drafts to work from. Also, there's a growing desire to spend more time working with the client as a partnership, giving more strategic advice, winning more business, being more competitive. There's a lot you can do if you're not drafting the same document again and again. So really, across corporate counsel, law students, and the lawyers themselves, they see researching and drafting as the main areas, which is why, as Min said a little earlier, at LexisNexis, we're concentrating on 3 areas. The first one is conversational search. So not having to think of what keywords, what search methods you want to use, just being able to speak and to get back exactly what it is that you need. The second one is on condensing all of your research into a very simple answer. So you don't have to read 20 different books You don't have to look through 50 different documents and then understand what they all mean. The AI can do that for you, and it can summarize it, and it can give you a very, very quick answer. And then the third one is giving you the first draft of a document you can actually use. So it's also about showing you what the law is, but then helping you be a better lawyer. So it can give you, you can ask it to write a contract, an email, a letter. You can tell it to change the tone. You can do all kinds of things with it, and that can really save a lot of time. So those are the three areas that we are really focused on at LexisNexis.
Cool stuff. So let's have a look.
Let's have a look.
I think we will skip the second video of Min because we are
Because
a
of
bit
time?
in a hurry. Yeah, because of time. And straight go to video,
Video
with
3.
the tool.
Lexis Plus AI is the new tool that we have just announced in the last couple of weeks. And this video should hopefully bring to life for you how the tool already exists and does these tasks for the lawyers.
Can you please start it? Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so this is real. This isn't a mock-up. This is a real tool which has been developed by Min and her team. It currently runs against US law, all the US law we have in Lexis.com, which is the biggest repository of law. We are looking to roll this out to other countries in due course. We're currently working with some of the large law firms in the US to help fine-tune the tool, and we are aiming for a commercial release sometime over the summer. So it is real, and it is happening. And you can see real time how quickly that can speed up both research and drafting tasks. And there are two things really that are so important to law firms that make what we're doing so important. The first one is it's totally secure. So each user session is its own individual protected session. We don't use any customer information to train the tool or to give content to anyone else. It's just running over Lexis content, not other customers' content. And the second thing is you'll see in that video is it includes citations. It tells you where it got the answer from, and you can go and look at that yourself. So in that way you can really trust what it's doing and what's happening. So very exciting times for us at LexisNexis.
Absolutely. So very impressive. As I have seen it the first time, it was really impressive for me as well. And as you said, the speed, how fast development goes here is really, really cool. So you have seen the use cases, you have seen the implications, and also some sneak preview what's coming from mostly from the US. And I would say let's do a quick roundup session and include again Jordan maybe to really have a quick wrap up in terms of what you can predict. I don't know if Jordan is available still. Oh, here he is.
Yes, I am available.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect, Jordan. We just do a quick roundup in terms of what are your predictions, what are your statements about the future, where do you see us in 2 years or in 3 years?
So I'm going to start off by stating that the questions we need to ask ourselves is how do we pivot legal tech in our legal structures that enhance access to justice and enable lawmakers to become faster and more efficient to their clients. And this is through enhanced security, as Karen mentioned earlier, in our tools, to address privacy concerns at an umbrella level and at a 360 view. Technologies such as blockchain to establish secure digital identities, authenticate legal documents with ease, and create tamper-proof audit trails that support democratic legal structures and that support security across all the platforms, across all our platforms. And I leave you with that. I leave you with the statement that privacy regulations are paramount, and that's what we expect to see in terms of the future of legal tech.
Thank you, Jordan. Karen, what's going on in the UK? What do you see?
Well, from what we've seen, I think there's probably two key things I think are going to happen, and they're going to happen fast. The first one that I see is that the role of the lawyer and what they spend their day doing is going to drastically change. I think people coming out of law school and university now will not recognize the profession they're going into. The tasks they do will be different. They will be much more focused on adding value and on building relationships and on doing things which aren't just process and tasks, because artificial intelligence can do that for them. The other thing I can really see is the speed and the scale of this happening, and just how all-encompassing it's going to become. And I think that that's going to happen really fast too. And I really think if you look back in a year or two, then the idea of having some kind of internet service that you go to and you put in a search term and it gives you back some content that was there will probably be as old-fashioned as going to a store to rent a video cassette to watch a movie. It's just not what you do anymore. So I can see that the whole way we interact with knowledge and with content changing really very fast to an extent that we won't remember what it was like before.
Yes, I really agree. We are just scratching the surface of all these tools. It's really, really happening fast. And yes, if you want to know more, just go to our website, contact us, get in touch with us, follow what we are doing here in Austria as well as globally in the UK and in the US. And if you want to hear more legal stuff, go to the main stage, because there is one cool keynote coming up at 15:35, I would say, somehow, with our CEO, Susanne Mortimore, and Sébastien Bardou from LexisNexis France, and they will speak about innovation and how innovation empowers human rights. Very, very important topic, so follow them. Thank you very much.